welcome to the new lecture. So the topic of today's lecture is network protocols. So let us discuss network protocols. Now first of all I want to tell you like what a network protocol is. Now you might have heard about protocols. Protocols means some rules, set of rules that are responsible for communication of data between various devices in the network. So let us discuss in detail. So I'll discuss protocol by giving you one example. Suppose two students are there. One knows Tamil and another knows Bengali, but they are they don't have any common language to communicate. So one person can speak in Tamil, another person can speak in Bengali. Now see how they will communicate then. They need a translator. Okay. So they need a third person who will be the translator. So that third person knows Tamil as well as Bengali. So whatever the person one who knows Bengali will say will communicate in his own language. Then the translator will translate whatever he said in Tamil to the second person. So this way they will communicate. Now the middleman who knows both the languages, okay, so he is the protocol here. That means they need a protocol to communicate. So protocols are some standard set of rules that are responsible for communication of data between various devices in the network. Because why this is because various devices in the computer network, okay, they follow different architecture, they follow different formats. So how they communicate? So for communication they need some standard set of rules. Suppose we when we go to some other country, and if we speak our own language, then they won't be able to understand. So we need a standard language. So which standard language we follow? We follow English, because the person who is sitting in other country, he also knows English and we also know English. So English will be our mode of communication there. So English is the standard or set of rule that is responsible for communication between two entities. Okay, so same is here with computer networks. So these protocols define guidelines and conventions for transmitting and receiving data, ensuring efficient and reliable data communication. So what does this protocol gives? The guidelines and the conventions that are used for transmitting and receiving data. And it also ensures that protocol guidelines also ensures that there should be efficient and reliable data communication. What is reliable data communication? Whatever you are sending to the receiver, okay, receiver should receive the same thing whatever you have sent, okay, and receiver should acknowledge the thing. Okay, if you say hello to receiver, then receiver will acknowledge you by saying hello. So that is called reliable data communication. And suppose you say something to the receiver, receiver will not listen because that might be lost on the way. So in that case, receiver will not be able to give you answer. So how you will know that receiver has received your communication or not? So that is reliable data communication, and protocols are responsible for ensuring efficient and reliable data communication. Okay. Now protocols also determines what is being communicated. Okay, if you send A, then receiver should receive A. Okay, if you send A and if it is changed on the way to B, okay, you are sending A, receiver is receiving B. So that is not a good communication. Okay, so false communication. So how it is being communicated, what it is being communicated. So all these things are dealt with. Okay, so it permits connected devices to communicate with each other irrespective of internal and structural differences. So I had already told you that in a computer network, different devices are there, different computers are there, they follow different set of rules, like different architecture, different language formats, okay, different hardware. So they will be able to communicate only with the help of protocols. So this is actually protocol. So let us go to the next slide. So how does protocol work? So it is essential to understand how devices communicate over a network by recognizing network protocols. So we will talk about the open system interconnection, also called OSI, the most widely used model illustrate how computer systems interact with one another over a network. So I will explain this to you in detail. Suppose you have two computers in a network that are communicating with each other. Now for communication they need reference models. So what are reference models? Reference models are models, okay, that have some layers. Okay. For example, OSI reference model. Okay, OSI reference model, we have 7 layers. So 7 layer, it starts from physical layer. Okay, then on the top of the physical layer we have data link layer. Then on the top of the data link layer we have network layer. On the top of the network layer we have transport layer. Then on the top of the transport layer we have sessions layer. And on the top of the session layer we have presentation layer, and on the top of the presentation layer we have application layer. So how does it work? I will tell you in detail. Suppose you are using WhatsApp. Okay, now in WhatsApp you type a message. So this message is actually typed in application layer. That means you are using application layer of the computer network. Okay, so you are using application layer. So your message will be grabbed in application layer. Okay, now next your message will go down to presentation layer. Okay, now presentation layer deals with various technical things that you don't have to study all these things in detail. Just I'll tell you like how does it go. So you are working in application layer, your message go to presentation layer. In presentation layer, computer deals with various technicalities. Okay, like you have their different formats and all are used in different computers. Okay, so how you will deal with these things so that at the receiving end your receiver or the person who is sitting at the receiving end will be able to understand. Okay, so that all things are done in this thing presentation layer. Then we have sessions layer below that. Then from presentation layers your message go down to session layer. Session establishes dialogues. Okay, different sessions for communication. Okay, file transfer and all these things are done in session layer by establishing dialogues or sessions. Okay, then synchronization and all these functions are done in session layer. So after that your message goes to transport layer. So in transport layer various things are done, like your message will be very big, then your message will be fragmented to form small these things. Then something about flow control and all these things are done in this thing transport layer. Okay, then we again go to the layer below it, that is network layer. From network layer, the message that you have sent, okay, that will be after fragmentation at the transport layer, that message goes to various they follow various routes to reach to the destination. Then below that you have data link layer. In data link layer, flow control, error control, okay, then bit level fragmentation and all these are done there. Okay, then below that you have this thing physical layer. Physical layer deals with the raw bits. Okay, whatever is written in the message, it is not concerned about that. Whatever, it just sends the raw bit to the destination. So from physical layer your message goes to the physical layer of the receiver, destination. So from destination again it goes up, and from physical layer to data link layer, from data link layer to network layer, from network layer to transport layer, from transport layer to session layer, from session layer to presentation layer, then application layer, and finally it reaches to the receiver. So this way communication happens in computer networks, or in mobile phone you chat, okay, in Facebook you send message, everywhere communication is done in this way. So every layer of a reference model is having some protocols, some rules, okay, that are responsible for various functions. Okay, so if you learn networking in detail, sometimes you will be able to know all these things, how the different protocol works. So I just want to tell you that in every layer of a reference model, there are some protocols, they have some functions. Okay, so that is the thing. Now the communication mechanism between two network devices is shown by 7 different layers in the OSI reference model that I discuss now. Layer in the OSI model works based on different network protocols, and each protocol is having a different function. Okay, so at every layer, one or more protocols are there for network communication. It is not necessary that each layer should have only one protocol. There might be more than one protocols depending upon the functionality of that layer. So to enable network to network communication, Internet protocol, for instance, routes data by controlling information like source and destination addresses of data packets. So it is known as a network layer protocol. So let us consider network layer of OSI reference model. In network layer, there is a protocol called IP, Internet protocol. So it is responsible for carrying a packet from source computer to the destination computer. So this is the function of this protocol. Similarly, other protocols are there that are responsible for different functionalities. So let us move to the next slide. Now there are different types of protocols. So in most cases, communication across a network like the internet uses the OSI reference model. Okay, so OSI model has total of 7 layers: secured connections, network management, and network communication are 3 main tasks that the network protocol performs. So what are the different tasks of this OSI model? Secured connection, network management, and network communication. Okay, so the protocols present in the OSI model performs these 3 tasks. So the purpose of protocol is to link different devices. The protocols can be broadly classified into 3 major categories: network communication, network management, and network security. You have to remember this thing. Let us move to the next slide. So let us discuss network communication in detail. So communication protocols are really important for functioning of a network. Without protocol, the networks, computers in the network will not be able to communicate, because I have already told you, suppose in a class if there are different students and all speak different languages and they don't know each other's languages, they won't be able to communicate. We need some standard set of rules or a standard language with the help of which the students will communicate. So same is the case of computers present in the computer network, because they are following different architectures, different formats. Okay, data formats and all. Okay, so they need some standard set of rules to communicate. So they are crucial. That is not possible to have computer networks without them, without whom the protocols. These protocols formally set out the rules and formats through which data is transferred. So what does this protocol handle? They handle syntax. Syntax means the suppose if I write I live in India. So this is called syntax. So using this syntax, I will be able to convey the message that I want to give you. Okay, so in computer protocols have this type of syntax. Okay, then semantics are the rules. Like, suppose I say you I live in India. So this is a correct syntax. Okay, this to write this syntax I need to follow some grammar. So that grammar is the semantics. Okay, so if I say I India live, then it doesn't make any sense. That means semantic is not correct. That means grammar is not correct. Syntax, all the components of the syntax is there, but semantics is not correct. Without semantics, syntax have no meaning. So all the syntax that I have should be formed using some semantics. Then there should be some error detection techniques in these protocols. Synchronization should be there. Synchronization means what? If I send a message to you at 9 a.m. okay, you should receive the message at 9 a.m. Then only there will be real-time communication. Suppose at 9 a.m. I send you a message at 9 a.m. and after a fraction of second you receive that message. Then again you send me the message. Okay, that means we are chatting in a real-time mode. So to maintain that we need synchronization. If send you a message now and if you get tomorrow, then you won't be able to communicate with me in a real time mode. Okay. Then authentication is also needed. Suppose you send a message to your friend and it reaches to another person. So then then there will be a problem. Okay. So for that you need authentication also. The message that you are sending to a number should reach to that. We discuss some network communication protocols. So some network communication protocols are like HTTP. The full form of HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So HTTP resides in layer 7. So I had already told you in OSI reference model there are 7 layers and in each layer some protocol resides. So HTTP resides in layer number 7 of OSI reference model. And what is the function of HTTP? Each protocol is having some functionality. So what is the function of HTTP? HTTP is designed for transferring a hypertext between two or more systems. Okay. So HTTP works on a client server model. Most of the data sharing over the web is done through HTTP. That means whatever is there, like the message that you write, okay, so that message, okay, will be transferred to a different system, and who is responsible for transferring it? HTTP. Okay, and HTTP will also what it will do, it will also find out a particular message, okay, written in some, present in some URL, okay, like it will give it to the receiver, okay, and it works on a client server model, and most of the data sharing over the web is done through HTTP. Let us talk about another protocol. This is transmission control protocol. So transmission control protocol, TCP, also called TCP, layouts a reliable stream delivery by using sequenced acknowledgement. That means one message you will send, the acknowledgement of this message you will receive, so that you will be able to know that the message that you have sent is reached at the destination or not. It is a connection oriented protocol. That means you have to establish a connection before sending some data. Okay. It is used for communicating over a network. Okay, so for communication in a network it is used, and it has many applications such as emails, FTP is file transfer protocol, streaming media, etc. Okay, video streaming and all. Okay, all these things are done by TCP. Okay, so let us move to the next slide. Then you have UDP, user datagram protocol. So what is user datagram protocol? It is a connectionless protocol. That means why connectionless? No need to establish a connection in advance in order to send a message. Okay, and you will send a message. If there is some connection, then message will be forwarded. Otherwise, it will reside somewhere. Okay, in the middle, and when it will get a connection, the message will be forwarded. That way it works. Okay, it adds no flow control. Flow control means if you are sending message at some speed, the receiver will be able to receive that message in that speed. That is flow control. So it is not dealing with any flow control. It is not dealing with any reliability. Reliability means the concept of acknowledgement is not there. Error recovery functions are not there. Okay. UDP is functional in cases where reliability is not required. That I told you. It is used when we want faster transmission for multicasting and broadcasting connections, etc. Okay, multicasting means when I send a message, it should reach to a group of people whom I want to send. Then broadcasting means when I send a message, it should reach to all the computers in the network. That is broadcasting. And multicasting is sending to a group of computers in a network. Okay, then we have another protocol that is called Border Gateway Protocol, also called BGP. BGP is a routing protocol, okay, that controls how packets pass through the router in an independent system. Okay, one or more networks run by a single organization and connect to different networks. It connects the endpoints of a LAN with other LANs, and it also connects endpoints in different LANs to one another. Okay, BGP is one type of routing protocol. Okay, routing means sending data from one source to destination. Okay, and how these packets are passed through different routers on the way. So different routers, okay, form a path. Okay, understood. So your message goes from one router to another router, then that router to another router, and finally it reaches to the destination router where it is transferred to the destination PC machine. Okay, so it controls how packets pass through the router in an independent system. Okay, one or more networks by a single organization. Okay, run by a single organization and connect to different networks. Okay. So it connects endpoints of a LAN with other LAN. So let us discuss some other protocols. So like address resolution protocol, ARP. What is ARP? ARP is a protocol that helps in mapping logical addresses to physical addresses. What are logical addresses? Say the IP address of the computer, that is a logical address. And physical address means the MAC address of a computer. Okay, MAC means the permanent address of the computer. Okay. So for mapping and maintaining a correlation between these logical and physical addresses, okay, a table known as ARP cache is used. So ARP protocol deals with this. Okay, so I will tell you the concept. Okay, IP address you might have heard. IP address is actually not the physical address of a computer. Okay, it is the logical address. That means let us consider one house. There one person like Mr. ABC resides. Okay, so logical address will be Mr. ABC, then the full address of that house. After some time that Mr. ABC transfers to some other place, another person come to that house and takes the house in rent. So that person's name is XYZ. So now logical address will be changed to XYZ. So logical address may change. That means the tenant in a house, okay, may go to some other place, but the house remains there. So house is the physical address. So same is the case of computers, MAC address. So each computer is having a MAC address, okay, but IP address changes. Okay, so then next protocol is IP protocol. It is a protocol through which data is sent from one host to another over internet. I told you. Then DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. It is a protocol for network management and it is used for method of automating the process of configuring devices on IP networks. So it is a protocol, okay, that is used for automating the process of configuring devices in IP networks. So what is the function of DHCP? It automatically assigns an IP address and various other configurational changes to devices, that means the computers on a network, so they can communicate with other IP networks. Okay, so it allows devices to use various services like NTP, DNS or any other protocol based on TCP or UDP. So no need to do these things in detail now. Okay, first of all you should know the basics of the network, and if you are interested later on you should go through these things in details. Just you have to remember that what is protocol and what is how many protocols are there, different types of protocols are there, and what is the function of each protocol. Okay, so that much is needed. So now let us move to the next topic, that is network management. So there are some protocols which are categorized under network management. So these protocols assist in describing the procedures and policies that are used in monitoring, maintaining and mapping the computer network. Okay, so these protocols also help in communicating these requirements across the network to ensure stable communication. Okay, so network management protocols can also be used for troubleshooting connections between a host and a client. What is troubleshooting? Troubleshooting means if there is some problem in the network, that means if there is some problem in the connection between host and the client, then this protocol is responsible for rectifying it. Okay, so that is troubleshooting. Okay, so you understood the functions of network management protocols. Now let us move to different network management protocols. So let us start with ICMP. So it is a layer 3 protocol. That means which one is layer 3? Layer 1 is your physical layer, layer 2 is data link layer, layer 3 is network layer. So ICMP resides in layer 3. Okay, that is used by network devices to forward operational information and error messages. ICMP is used for reporting congestions, network errors, diagnostic purposes and timeouts. Okay, so there is another protocol, that is SNMP, simple network management protocols. So now where does it reside? It resides in layer 7. Okay, that is used for managing nodes on an IP address. So there are three main components in SNMP protocol: SNMP agent, SNMP manager, and managed device. So SNMP agent has the local knowledge and management details. It translates those details into a form that is compatible with SNMP manager. Manager presents data acquired from SNMP agents, thus helping in monitoring network glitches and network performance and troubleshooting them. So next protocol is file transfer protocol. So file transfer protocol is a client server protocol that is used for moving files to or from a host computer. So it allows users to download files, programs, web pages, and other things that are available on other services. Okay, so this protocol is very important for downloading like huge files. Okay, using these files you can transfer. Okay, you can move file from one place to another place. Okay, huge amount of files can be moved using FTP. Okay, it is very like important protocol in some corporate and big organizations. Okay, where huge amount of data is transferred using this protocol. So another protocol is post office protocol, also called POP3. It is a protocol that is that a local mail client uses to get email messages from remote email server over TCP connection. Email servers hosted by ISPs also use POP3 protocol and to hold and receive emails intended for their users. So eventually these users will use this email client software to look at their mailbox on remote server and to download their emails. After the email client downloads the emails, they are generally deleted from the servers. Okay, so local mail client uses to get email messages from a remote email server. Okay, to do this, POP3 is used. Okay, so POP3 protocol is used to hold and receive emails intended for their users. Okay, so these users will use email client software to look at their mailbox, okay, on the remote server and to download their emails. So mainly you understood, I think POP3 is mainly used for handling emails, okay, getting emails and all. Okay, so very important protocol. Now we will move to the next protocol. Next protocol is Telnet. Okay, so it is a protocol that allows user to connect to a remote computer. Using Telnet, you can connect to a remote computer and you can use it. So sometimes you might have heard, na, give me the access of your screen. Okay, like suppose technically you are not able to solve the problem of your computers. So your vendor, okay, or the technician of the computer may ask for your screen. He may ask that share your screen, okay, so that I can rectify it from here. So actually, which protocol is used here for doing this type of work? Telnet is used. So Telnet is a protocol that allows the user to connect to a remote computer program and to use it. Okay, it is designed for remote connectivity. That means you can connect to a remote computer and you can use the screen, or you can share your screen with some remote computer. Okay, so for that Telnet is used. Okay, so that is the thing. So let us move to the next slide. Next slide is, now we have a third category of protocols that are called network security protocols. So these protocols secure the data in passage over a network. So these protocols also determine how the network secures data from any unauthorized attempts to extract or review data. So these protocols make sure that no unauthorized devices, users or services can access the network data. Primarily, these protocols depend on encryption to secure data. Okay, mainly for the security of your data, this type of protocols are used. Okay, so because you know data is very important nowadays. Like if somebody steal data, okay, then it will be a very problematic thing for an organization. Okay, so they need their data to be secured. Okay, so for data security they need some protocols. Okay, these falls under network security protocols. Okay, so that is the thing. So let us see like what type of protocols are there. So number one, SSL, secure socket layer protocol. So it is a network security protocol mainly used for protecting sensitive data and securing internet connections. So SSL allows both server to server and client to server communication. So all the data transferred through SSL is encrypted, thus stopping any unauthorized person from accessing it. So mainly for security reasons, okay, of the data that I told you, we use this protocol. Okay, this allows both server to server and client to server communication. So how does it protect your data? SSL is encrypted. Okay, that means SSL encrypts the data. Encryption means your data will be converted into some other form, so that if somebody steals also, it won't be able to understand what is written over there. Okay, it will be like converted into some code word. Okay, so unauthorized person cannot access it. So then we have another another protocol, that is HTTP. Okay, sometimes HTTPS, hypertext transfer protocol, or hypertext transfer protocol secure. HTTPS is the secured version of HTTP. So I had already told you about HTTP. It takes receives or sends data, or it fetches the data from some URL. Okay, so here we have HTTPS, the secured version of HTTP. Okay, so that is the thing. Now another protocol is there, that is transport layer security. So it is a security protocol designed for data security and privacy over the internet. Its functionality is encryption, checking the integrity of data. Okay, that is whether it has been tampered, okay, with or not. That means there some person has done any tampering with the data or not, and authentication things also sees. It is generally used for encrypted communication between servers and web apps. So like a web browser loading a website, it can also be used for encryption of messages, emails and VoIP. So encryption and all I have already told you. So you just have to deal with the like functions of these protocols. Okay, no need to go through these protocols in details. That is needed when if you are interested in learning network, okay, in advance, then only the details of these protocols are needed. But for knowledge purpose, this much is only sufficient. That is like what does it do? Okay, so that is the thing. So next we'll move to the next slide. So we have some other protocols also. Internet Message Control Protocol, Internet Message Access Protocol, IMAP. Then we have ICMP protocol, is also used to retrieve message from email server. Okay, then using ICMP mail, user can view and manage mails on his system. Then Session Initiation Protocol, SIP. SIP is used in video, voice and messaging application. This protocol is also used to initiate, manage, terminate the session between two users while they are communicating. And real-time protocol, RTP. This protocol is used to forward audio, video over IP network. This protocol is used with SIP protocol to send audio, video at real time. So this is all about protocols. Okay, then we have point-to-point protocol, point-to-point tunneling protocol, PPTP. It is used to implement VPN, virtual private network. Then PPTP protocol append PPP frame in IP datagram for transmission through IP based network. Then TFTP, trivial file transfer protocol. It is simplified version of FTP. Okay, it is also used to transfer file over internet. Then resource location protocol, RLP. RLP is used to assign the resource such as server, printer and other devices over the internet to the user. It is also used to locate the resource to the client for a broadcast query. So this is all about protocols. So I hope this lecture will help you in knowing like what a protocol is, how does it work, what are its functionalities. Okay, then what is OSI reference model, so how these protocols are placed in each layer of the OSI reference model on the basis of their functionalities. Okay, then the functionality of each and every protocol. Okay, how many types of protocols are there, different categories of protocols. So all these things are covered in this lecture. So I hope you enjoyed the lecture. Initially it will like look tough to you, but these things are actually, if you learn in detail, if you learn thoroughly, I think you will be able to understand. Okay, this is very interesting topic. Okay, this protocol is, and without one thing you have to remember, that without protocol, okay, internet is nothing. Okay, it is paralyzed. Okay, so protocols are needed to run an internet properly, run a network properly. Protocols are very much needed.